Christopher Limboropoulos, Sky Germany.
Sky Germany. I hope you still speak German. How is your German? There are two players coming home. It's like for Leroy Sané, it's coming home. How do you recognize these players? Is that something special? And how high are the chances that they are playing tomorrow? Well, for Gündogan and Leroy Sané, they have just come back home, especially for Leroy Sané, who played for Schalke. And of course it's special for them. That's obvious. They're both from Germany, and it's important for them to come back home. But yeah, the most important for them is to play for their team now.
Third season, obviously, in charge of City in the Champions League. You talk about the experience needed in this competition. Do you feel your team is in a better position this year to challenge maybe a bit better than previously?
Yeah, but the first season I remember it was a big fail if we are not able to win the Champions League. It was always in the first season, so we bring that in our position. So yeah, but I believe the team after 3 seasons, I think we do better things than the first season. That is normal. Just for the fact we are all together. A lot of games, a lot of training sessions, a lot of meetings. We know each other much better. But this competition is special. So it's special. So the teams are good, and atmosphere in the stadiums. You have to control your emotions. You have to suffer the bad moments. You have to survive these bad moments, and in your right moments make the difference. So, but we are confident. We arrive with many dreams in our heads, to do a good competition, to make a good game tomorrow, to bring the both games in the best position for our stadium, Etihad. We are strong. We feel a lot of confidence there, and of course that pass to to make a good game, and especially to try to score goals. It's so important a way to try to score at minimum 1 goal.
Right at the back there, please. Right at the back.
Ezekiel Laray from Fox Sports. You said this competition is special. Probably your Bayern was playing at the moment the most attractive football in Europe, and now City is also playing the most attractive football in Europe. Why do you think this is sometimes not enough to win Champions League? This is a special competition, but what do you need, or what are you missing to make it?
Well, I think in Bayern we play quite well the last season, my third season. In the first season we arrived, but we were not. We won the titles, but we were not the way. But it's normal. You need time. It's the same like we say, James. So in the third season we are better than the first one. So when you speak 1 month ago, when we lost a few weeks ago, when we lost in Newcastle, the people didn't say that we are the most attractive football. So, but that's true. In last 12 games we won 11, and just for statistics you can lose once. So I have the feeling the players are quite well, and we'll see. It's a challenge for us. So what I'm pretty sure, you cannot go through in that competitions if you are not yourself. If you expect something is coming from above and you don't do your best performance, sooner or later you will be out. Maybe this time, maybe in quarterfinals. If you want to dream a lot, you want to go through in the later stages, you have to be yourself, not just every minute, every single second. You have to be incredible focus in that competition, impose your game, and after we will see. I will be out being ourselves. That is what I would like to feel in these competitions, in our third season together. We will try it. It's a challenge, like every single game, and delighted to face it.
Hi, Pep. James Robson, Standard. Last season, you were such dominant champions in England. It felt almost like when you came up against Liverpool, it was a bit of a shock in the Champions League. I wonder if, because they're pushing you so close this season, that might actually help you in the Champions League, the fact that you're having to keep your levels so high on a week-to-week basis. There is no sense of a shock, maybe.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. I would like to have 10 points or 12 points in front in the Premier League like Liverpool, honestly. But that is not normal. Really, I don't know. I think against Liverpool last season, I reviewed the game 2 or 3 times after when we prepared the games against with Liverpool. We worked quite well. I don't have many regrets in that competition. But when the people say we'll be shocked because we are City going well and Liverpool is underestimated, or go with Liverpool like we are not good enough, underdog, so I don't believe in that. So it's Liverpool, my friends. Liverpool is Liverpool. So when the people say no, it will be an incredible achievement from Liverpool if we win the Premier League. Guys, it's Liverpool. It's not a team for the championship. 5 Champions League, incredible trophies in the back room. So that's why for us it's nice to to be there with them every single season and fight and compete like we are competing, especially in the last two seasons.
Tony Lieter from Kicker.
Tomorrow, the role is clearly set. If we look at the bets, if you put in €1 and Manchester City wins, you get 2 cents back. Is there any reason why Manchester City should make it into the quarter final with 2 victories, actually? Well, I don't know. Is there any reason? I think that Schalke can win. I've never said that a team for one match cannot think for one match that they can win it, especially at home. Schalke, I mean, look at the team, at the players, and I'm sure that they think that they can show a good performance tomorrow. And they play at home, in front of their fans, the home crowd, and that they believe that they can win their match. I'm pretty sure about that. But we have a return leg then in Manchester, and Schalke players know that they know that we think that we can win at home in Manchester. It's a completely different competition. It's not the Bundesliga. It's a completely different competition. Everything can change and it can happen within seconds in the Champions League. I played there 3 or 4 times with Bayern Munich at Schalke, and it was always a complicated encounter. But we are happy to be here and face Schalke. It's the last 16. And they made it into the last 16. So it's good for both teams to be here and confront each other.
Hi Pep, Jack Pitbrook from The Independent. You said how important it is for City to score an away goal in this game. There's been some talk of the away goals rule being changed. What do you think about that?
But in that moment, it's not this case, no? In that moment, a score away is important. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that the way we want to play is it doesn't matter where we play. Try to impose our game and try to score goals. So and that's what we're going to try to do. Sometimes it's better to be so defensive at home and be attractive away. To score goals away is so important. But be ourselves. That is always I'm concerned about the game is being ourselves. So not because the competition is completely different. When we were, for example, against Newport, that is what I want to see tomorrow. So we want to go through. You have to be huge, incredible personality and charisma for ourselves to play in the bigger stages like Champions League, Deutschland, Schalke, to do it. That is what we have to try to do.
Hi, Pep. You left Gabriel Jesus and John Stones back in England. Can you tell us what the problem is and how long they may be out for?
John yesterday has a groin problem, and Gabriel finished the game in Newport with a hamstring problem. I think there's not a big one, both of them. The doctor told me that, but enough problem to don't be here. So that is the both situations, the both players. That's normal when you play the last more than 3 months, every 3 days a game. So we play 25 games in 3 months, so sooner or later we're going to finish the season. We're going to give them 3 weeks, no more than that, because if not, we're going to destroy the competitions. And we're going to come back, we're going to China to play in the big clubs in Europe, and they have to win, because if we don't win, the season will be a mess. And push them. And at the end, the legs of the players say, oh guys, it's enough, need rest. That's happened. Maybe the FIFA are going to organize a new competition, UEFA new competition, to these 3 weeks like we have off. No problem.
Hello, Pep. My name is Omar Katsuba. I'm from Nigeria for omarsports.com.
Good.
You are extremely popular in Nigeria.
Yeah?
After your achievement at Barcelona.
Oh,
and
I was young.
Yeah, and you cause massive argument on Nigerian Twitter space. Those who are for Pep believe that Pep is the greatest coach in the world. Those who are against Pep argue that Pep has not been able to win the Champions League since leaving Barcelona. And their argument is because you don't have players like Messi, Xavi, Iniesta. That is why you've not been able to win the Champions League. What do you say to this school of thought? What's your reaction?
I completely agree with them. I completely agree with them. I'm not going to argue 1 second. Because when I was there, I said many times, I win because these guys are incredible players. But I had in Munich as well, in Manchester as well. But in Barcelona, I was a lucky guy. I'm sorry. I was lucky. I agree with them.
Hi, Pep. Sam Lee from Goal. Obviously, Leroy is going to be playing against his former club tomorrow. You were, I guess, a big reason why you signed him for City. How has he changed as a footballer since he signed for City up until now?
But I think it's a question for him. He knows exactly how he was when was he in Schalke, and now he's in Manchester. Always I had the feeling he improved a lot, but always I had the feeling if he wanna be an incredible player, like his potential you see here close to your eyes, like just for the fact, the age that he has, he can do it. So, but it depends on him. So, to be this consistent, in every game, and to be improve, and what he can improve, he is already an incredible player, and he will be more incredible. It depends on him, like every player. In the other way.
The flip side to that, Pep, Rabbi Matondo obviously moved the other direction to Schalke in January. Their coach was talking at his press conference earlier on about them needing to be patient with him. He made his Bundesliga debut at the weekend. Obviously, you allowed him to leave. What was it about him? What wasn't quite the finished article that meant he couldn't challenge for first-team place, and why it was felt that it was best that he was able to leave the club?
Well, I said with the cases with Jadon, with Brahim, with Naufil Foden, with Rai Matondo, is the same case. So the young players at the end depends of, so playing Manchester City, like play, for example, in Barcelona, Madrid, Bayern Munich, or these kind of games, it's not easy. So Raheem Matondo can play, but he compete in his position with Sterling, with Leroy, with Riyad Mahrez, with Bernardo Silva. So that is the truth. It's not easy. The team is trying to build, to fight for the Premier Leagues, to fight in last stages for all competitions. And we trust them. But the end is I want to stay still. I have patience because I have this opportunity and it's better go. So I'm not going to say it's a bad decision for Ravi. Completely opposite. He went to the big club like Schalke, and he's growing because he's going to play more minutes in the high level like Bundesliga, like maybe in Premier League still he needs more time. And the future will tell us, it was a good decision, bad decision. But he decided to do that, and okay, it's well done. So today he made a debut in Bundesliga in Freiburg. I saw the game, and he played quite well. It's so fast, so quick, and with minutes he's going to do that. I'm pretty sure with Tedesco he's going to learn, and we're going to see. So not all the players around the world can play in Manchester City. So the space is the space. So this is what it is.
Buenas noches, Pep. Can we do it in Spanish? No English? Okay, no problem at all. Pep, you said in the last few weeks more than once that Bernardo Silva was, and it was your words, perfect. I'm from Portugal, so for the Portuguese fans, I would like to ask you, what exactly has Bernardo that makes him be like you said? And if you allow me to make a second question, do you think that he is the next big star in the Portuguese national team?
He is the biggest star already. He has absolutely everything. First, he's a lovely person. I love to work with him, especially because he's never make a bad face when don't play. When he plays 5-10 minutes, 50-20, like last season, always the biggest smile. I think he's the guy in the locker room that's the most beloved of our team, and he has the skills for himself. So he can absolutely everything. He's one of the talented players I ever seen in my career, like a manager and a football player. He's a humble guy. He can play in 3 or 4 positions. Always is 8-9, 9-8-9. He knows when he doesn't play good in terms of the skills, it doesn't matter, but he runs the most. And at the end, that is point. So you cannot play every single game, every 3 days in a top level, but you can run every 3 days during everything. He's playing, run, and he does. I think maybe this season, one of the 3 or 2 or 3 best players in the Premier League, because playing all the minutes and the amount of the produce in the play, with the ball, in assists, in goals, in how he celebrates. You have to take a look how he celebrates the goals when he scored than his teammates. It's a joy. For a manager, I am an incredible lucky guy to have Bernardo in my hands and enjoying every training session and every single game. So Portugal is fortunate to have him, and I'm pretty sure the manager is going to use him every time more and more because he deserves it. He's a lovely guy, so I love him. Simple like that.
Hi Pep, Johannes Orr from Bild. The league a little bit. What makes them dangerous for your team despite of that?
Of Dutch or in English? Yeah. I think the quality is there. So Tedesco last season, I know Schalke is always fighting, my period here, the expectations in the beginnings always are high, and always they could not accomplish, and last season they did it, so qualified the Champions League. Today I think every team in all the competitions, in all the leagues, want to qualify for the Champions Leagues, and when they qualify, it's incredible success for that club in this season, and they did it. And sometimes, sometimes to maintain that level, sometimes, they start in the tough situations, but it's one game, it's 2 games, and the quality is there, and Schalke Stadium is there, and we know that. So we have quite short experience, when the people say, no, this team is a favorite, it's going to be well. So, and Paris Saint-Germain, a lot of criticize them. Neymar is not there, and they face an incredible team like United. They make the last 11 or 12 games win absolutely everything. It's incredible. Yesterday show again the quality of United, beating in Chelsea in Stamford Bridge, and no people say, PSG, no Neymar, no Cavani, nothing. Tuchel do something special, they did it, and they won. In Old Trafford, 0-2, making a good performance. That is the Champions League, and it's an clear example of that. When you compare in the leagues, Manchester City top in the league, Schalke is there, so Manchester City has to win. You know, how many? 4, 5? That is not going to happen, my friend. So it's completely different competition. It's tough, real tough, and we know that the players know it for experience. They are going to try to do a good game, good result, to try to finish